Time for the papers. We'll tell you about the snow another time, why not? The writer and broadcaster Edward Adu and the anthropologist Marianne Otter. Lovely to see you both again. Marianne, let's start with you this time, shall we? The Telegraph, page 2. Social inequality is the reason behind the low uptake of the flu jab. Explain this one.
So this is a really interesting one. It's a piece of research done by the Institute for Public Policy Research, IPPR, and they conducted a survey in conjunction with YouGov, and they found that 23% of people don't want to get a flu jab, and they wouldn't get it even if they were offered one for free. But the really interesting thing is in the breakdown of that statistic. So more younger people say they wouldn't get one, and people in lower economic segments, 27% of people said they wouldn't get one, compared to only 20% of people in higher earning brackets. And the report's authors from IPPR are saying, actually, this means that we need to think about vaccine hesitancy, these inequalities in rollouts of flu vaccines and COVID vaccines, all the other vaccines, in terms of social injustice, not just in terms of personal choice. Because what we're looking at is people who might be historically inclined to think that they don't trust big organisations and government authorities, things like that. The health service, they're not on our side. There's a lack of representation. There's a lack of community trust. And people in those groups might be more inclined to trust more informal sources of information. So things like chat rooms, forums, WhatsApp groups, where there's a huge amount of health disinformation, and people do it. I don't even know why people would encourage you to think that the COVID vaccine is going to make you sick or implant a chip into your neck, and actually you're better off washing in, I don't know, some kind of toxic substance, none of which is true. Vaccines save hundreds of thousands of lives a year. So we actually need to address this, and the IPPR are calling for the government to think about putting together a permanent health disinformation unit, which does sound a little bit 84, but something needs to be done.
Frankly, yeah, it's about time. Edward, we're going to go to your second story because I'm fascinated by this one. Page 19 of The Guardian. The man that the internet has now christened Space Karen, Elon Musk, is asking Twitter users whether or not he should step down as CEO.
Yeah, this is really, really weird. I mean, I'm on Twitter, and a lot has happened since he's taken over. There's been an issue of the blue tick and the yellow tick. Now, I'm not sure if you've come across this. So now people who have the blue tick, who have been authorized, there's been a change of policy. But now he's put this out there. He's asked people whether he should stay or he should remain as the boss of Twitter. Now, Twitter's going through a major restructuring process at the moment. Some people I know on my Twitter feed who are employees of Twitter have kind of voiced their concern and said that since he's taken over, the whole thing, that Twitter has changed, as in Twitter's sphere has changed, the atmosphere, the morale. It's interesting that he's done this, because if I did this, I know if you opted to do this, we know what the answer would be if we were Elon Musk. So I don't think he's going anywhere. This could be another publicity stunt.
I think you might be right, but as things stand currently, I think it's yes 57. Bye Elon. Yeah, let's have a quick look. Yeah, the scores are on the boards. He's stepping down sometime soon. No worries about that. Take us inside to the business pages, in fact, of the Times. This is a fascinating one for me. Business donors essentially backing Labour to the same extent that they had the Conservatives. That's a development.
It really is, yes. So these are records that are held by the Electoral Commission. They record any public donations to political parties, and they've got records going back for more than a decade now, almost 20 years. And it's showing that business bosses, leaders of companies, are shifting allegiance from the Liberal Democrats, the Tory party, to Labour. This is very significant, obviously, because we're effectively now in the run-up to another general election, give or take, and Labour are desperately, well, not desperately actually, I think probably quite comfortably shaking off that chapter of their history, shall we say, where Jeremy Corbyn meant most business leaders ran the other way. And they're establishing a very solid base of support. And you've had some very high-profile defectors, excuse me, Gareth Quarry, for example, who was interviewed by your very own Beth Rigby, talking about why he thinks that the Tory party have trashed their own reputation. And so this is now a sort of, I don't know, there's a groundswell of opinion within the business community that the Labour Party are the party, potentially the party of business, the party of stability. So you've got people, the individuals behind the company River Island. You've got the outgoing chief exec of the company that owns Autoglass. You've got the director of the company that owns Paddy Power. So all different sectors, all turning to the Labour Party as the
Everyone likes to back a winner, though, don't they, Marianne, more than anything else? We are out of time. But next hour, can we please talk about the World Cup? Because obviously, as a Scotland fan, it's really been entertaining.
We're not going to
Edward,
talk about the
go away. We've got to go. We'll see you after this.